The U.S. Civil War was a conflict between the northern and southern states of the United States of America that lasted from 1861 to 1865. This bloody and brutal conflict began after a secession of 11 southern states from the Union formed the Confederate States of America in 1860 and 1860 and 1861. The root cause of the Civil War was the issue of slavery. The northern states had abolished slavery, while the southern states wanted it to remain. The Union wanted to keep the country together, while the Confederate States wanted to create their own country that allowed slavery. Tensions between the two sides reached a boiling point when on April 12, 1861, Confederate forces fired on Fort Sumter in South Carolina. This began a 4-year conflict between the two sides. The Union was led by President Abraham Lincoln, who vowed to preserve the Union. The Confederacy was led by President Jefferson Davis and General Robert E. Lee. During the war, the Union forces enjoyed a larger population, industrial base, and more resources and were much more successful in battles. The war finally came to an end with the surrender of General Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia at Appomattox Courthouse on April 9, 1865. The war resulted in 620,000 military casualties, with more than 1 million men wounded. The end of the Civil War also marked the beginning of the Reconstruction era in the United States. This era saw the passage of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution. The amendments abolished slavery, provided citizens with due process and equal protection of the law, and extended voting rights to African American men. The Civil War had a profound impact on the United States and its citizens. By helping to secure equality under the law, the war provided citizens with the opportunity for a more equitable society. More than 150 years later, the memory of the Civil War and its aftermath is still felt in the United States.